The summer selling season is here, and if you're in Southern California or looking to move to Southern California, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the changes that we're seeing going on right now in the business. If you've been watching the housing market the last year or so, you have seen an unexpected start to the business. And if you haven't, I'm gonna give you a brief summary of what we've seen so far. But first, let me talk about a few major points of what we see happening right now. Number one, first and foremost, is we are seeing more inventory coming to the market. Number two is we are seeing competition get spread out a bit because of that extra inventory. Number three, sellers need to be way more prepared right now than they did even a few months ago. And four, buyers need to make sure that they are on top of what is going on in the market. Those are the four major points. So number one is inventory. Number two is competition's getting spread out. Three, sellers have to be on top of what's going on, being prepared. Buyers need to be on top of what is happening in the marketplace. All right, so let's give a summary of what we've seen so far this year. Well, there's been a lot of multiple offer situations. If you've been watching the housing market, maybe even in and out, this first half of 2024 has been a very competitive year, in a year where absolutely nobody was expecting to see in Southern California, especially Orange County, a 10, 15, 20% price appreciation. Nobody expected to see that. We have seen inventory stay very, very, very low the entire first half of the year, which has led to multiple offers, which has led to prices to continue to increase, even with interest rates staying at these elevated rates. And this has especially happened with homes that look good and are priced right. Now, this is also something, this is flipping back to the change, is that this is something we're gonna see flip on the second half of this year. Let me explain. Now, let me give some context to paint a better picture here. So currently, I'm looking down at my notes. As the time that I'm writing this, there's about 3,200 homes for sale in Orange County, California. So this is active and coming soon listings, 3,200. Now, this is up a lot from the bottom, meaning within the last 12 months, the lowest we've seen of inventory, which is December of last year, was just under 2,000. So we've seen 1,200 more homes come on the market. This is active inventory. Now, yes, this is a big increase. However, if you look back to a normal pre-COVID housing market, Orange County's used to having about 6,000 homes on the market. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 7, but that is a normal, healthy market. So even with inventory going up, we're still half of what is in a normal market. So I will say that as far as some context, as far as where we're at. So yes, number one, we are seeing an increase in inventory, which is great and healthy for the market. But with that, we're not seeing a flood of inventory to the market, at least not yet. I don't think we're going to, but anyway, we're seeing more inventory, but not a flood. It's certainly not over inventory in the marketplace. However, we are seeing buyer demand stay about the same. So what's happening right now in this short amount of time, in the last 30 to 60 days, we've seen inventory increase from about that 2,000 mark to 3,000. So it's a pretty big jump. And what's happening is buyer demand has not followed with that demand, at least not yet. And what's happening is these buyers are getting spread over more homes, meaning there's fewer multiple offer situations, meaning that it's more competitive for sellers than it was and than it has been in quite some time. Now, this isn't surprising. Inventory is supposed to increase this time of year. Buyer demand, it's not surprising to see it stay about the same because it's been about the same for the last couple years, ever since we've seen these interest rates right around 7%. And I'm not sure if this is you, but there are a lot of buyers that are sitting on the sidelines just waiting for interest rates to come down. Now let me simplify all that. More homes for sale, flat buyer demand equals a healthier market. This is all really good for the overall market. And the reality is we have gotten so used to multiple offers on everything and prices going over list price, and that isn't normal. The normal market is a home sits on the market for 30 to 60 days before it sells, and that's even slightly a seller's market. A neutral market is technically, if homes are on the market for 90 days or so, is a neutral market. So us seeing more inventory coming to market with buyer demand not really increasing to gobble up that demand, it's a healthier thing for the overall marketplace. Now here's how you can be prepared. If you are a potential seller, pricing and presentation are more important now than ever. Now, I've been saying that if you've been following along with this newsletter, which by the way, if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, if you're not getting this in your email inbox every Friday, go to ocmarketupdates.com, drop your email address, and we'll add you to the newsletter. But anyway, sellers, pricing and presentation is more important now than it ever has been. Buyers are online, buyers are more hesitant to go out and look at properties, even at open houses. So if your home does not look exceptional, if it's not on 2,000 plus websites, if it is not accessible to go see, and if it doesn't look good and priced right, is what I say. Looks good and priced right is what is moving properties the fastest for the most money. So that is the most important part. Now, obviously, once the buyers come, you need to make sure that your agent is negotiating to make sure you get protected, you get the best deal possible. So for sellers, pricing and presentation, that's my biggest piece of advice. And the easiest way to do that is to partner with somebody that really knows what they're doing. And we obviously do here at Onyx Homes. So if you want to reach out to us, you can start that by obviously just reaching out. Or if you want, you can start with a free home valuation at trackyourvalue.com. All right, that's for sellers. All right, now let's transition to buyers. So if you are thinking about buying a property, one, listen to everything I just said for the seller again, because if I'm talking to a seller, my job is to sell that house for as much money as possible. And if I'm talking to a buyer, my job is to negotiate you the best deal possible. So even if you're selling and I'm talking to you as a buyer, make sure you understand what I just said to sellers. Now on the buy side, here's my best advice, is be prepared so you are confident and comfortable when you see the opportunity. You would not believe how many times we work with clients who are out and they're thinking about making a move and they're looking for a year, and then all of a sudden the opportunity comes and then they miss it because they weren't ready. Now the reality is you can get ready to purchase a property in less than a week. You can do it in a couple of days. But you would not believe the amount of people who are in your shoes thinking about buying a property and wanting to and just waiting for that perfect opportunity, and then it comes and goes because they weren't ready. Now, you might have a little bit more time moving forward. We're gonna have an market update coming out soon that'll show maybe a little bit more time on market for buyers, and obviously, as we've talked about, more options to choose from. But my advice is to be prepared so you're comfortable and confident to be able to buy the home and to be able to write the offer you need to get your offer accepted. We do this with our clients. We go through a buyer strategy session. It's completely free, no cost, no obligation. You can go through a 45-minute consultation with one of our local experts that goes through the entire thing. I always say we cover 3 major points in these strategy sessions. Number one, first and foremost, is we share with you what our clients are doing to be successful in this market right now. Number two is we talk about how we keep you protected through the entire process. And number three, we talk about how we get you the best deal possible under whatever the different circumstances are, whether it's a multiple offer negotiation or whether we are going in on a property with no offers. There's 150 different negotiation points, and we make sure that we're getting you the best deal possible. So sellers, your pricing and presentation matters the most. And for buyers, just being prepared, comfortable, and confident. So if you're a buyer and you're thinking about setting up this strategy session, again, it's totally free, there's no cost, no obligation. Go to becomeabetterbuyer.com. Link is going to be down in the description as well too. Obviously, you can reach out to us if you're already working with an Onyx agent. Just let them know, hey, I was listening to Christian. He said I should set this thing up. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. But you can go to becomeabetterbuyer.com and that'll let them know as well too. So I hope this was helpful. The change in the market's going to be really interesting. Next week, we will see a market update. So make sure, again, you're subscribed to the newsletter at ocmarketupdates.com. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.